Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today, we're looking at something pretty fascinating in global governance. Just how much one major international development institution can actually do. We've got a stack of recent sources here on the Korean International Cooperation Agency, KOICA. And honestly, the sheer range of their work is, well, it's kind of astonishing.
Yeah, it really is. Our goal today, I suppose, is to quickly get a handle on how one single agency juggles global humanitarian crises, uses cutting-edge AI and data back home, and handles high-level diplomacy and infrastructure projects overseas. It really shows you the many faces of modern development work. You need that mix of tech, communication, and, traditional aid.
Exactly. And maybe the best place to start, the most surprising thing in this whole stack, is actually about their soft power. Their institutional character, PeKO. It won an award.
That's right. You think of a big government aid agency, you picture serious reports, maybe aid shipments, not mascot awards. But PeKO actually won the Event Innovation Award at the 2025 Korea Local Government Public Character Festival.
That sounds like a pretty big deal.
Oh, it is. It's a nationwide thing. PeKO is picked as one of just 12 winners out of, I think, 33 contestants. So, yeah, quite competitive.
That's some serious PR achievement.
Yeah.
But what's the strategy behind it? Why is an international development agency spending time creating a mascot, building a fandom, as the source puts it?
Well, it's kind of a classic move for relevance, isn't it? And maybe accountability, too. KOICA needs the public, both in Korea and abroad, to understand and support what they do. These are huge, expensive projects, after all.
So PeKO is the friendly face.
Basically. It only launched back in 2022, and they've used all the usual digital channels, card news, Instagram comics, even those little emoticons on NAV or OGQ Market. Apparently, those stickers got downloaded 25,000 times.
Wow, okay, so it's working. It makes these complex, often faraway projects feel a bit more present, relatable.
Exactly, and the results show it. It built up a following, even won an Excellence Award last year for a pop-up store event, the PeKO Peace Forest. It seems to be successfully bridging that gap between, high-level policy talk and just everyday public awareness.
It really shows that communication is just as important as the actual projects on the ground.
Absolutely. And having that public engagement sort of gives them the foundation, maybe the license, to focus on other things too, which lets us pivot nicely from soft power to their domestic work on technology and data sharing. That's really the bedrock for their global efforts later.
Okay, let's dive into that digital strategy then. There was this event, the 2025 Seongnam Public Institutions Joint Public Data Briefing Session, held back on September 2nd. Sounds complex.
It was pretty significant, yeah. Apparently the first joint data briefing like this in the Seongnam area. And the goal was really clear. Get specialized public data out there and really push for the private sector to use it, especially with AI becoming so central.
And KOICA hosted, but who else was involved? The list is interesting.
Right. It was KOICA plus the Korea Social Enterprise Promotion Agency, the Korea Petroleum Quality and Distribution Authority, the Korea Employment Agency for Persons with Disabilities, and the Academy of Korean Studies.
That's quite a mix. 5 major institutions, all with totally different kinds of data. Getting them to cooperate must have been something.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Just think about the data types. KOICA is talking about development cooperation data, right? And cases from their public data contest. Then you've got the Petroleum Authority showing off, get this, 38 different types of energy-related data.
Wow.
Yeah, stuff that's usually kept very separate. Suddenly, it's being put out there for wider use.
But just releasing data isn't enough, is it? You have to show it's actually useful. Did they give concrete examples?
They did, and that's really the key part here. They brought in experts to show the so what. Like, they highlighted this MSDS automatic recognition service. It won a grand prize.
MSDS, Material Safety Data Sheet, right? For handling chemicals.
Exactly. Automating the recognition of those sheets using AI, that's a huge deal for industrial safety, for compliance. Makes things much more efficient.
Okay, that's a tangible benefit. What else?
Well, they also showcased the Kana service case from Kakao, the big tech company, showing how major players are actually using this public data. It proves the data isn't just sitting there. It's driving real innovation, both economic and safety related.
And the big takeaway, the outcome for data governance in the region.
The really big news was the agreement. All 9 institutions on the Seongnam City Public Institution Council, so even more than the 5 presenters, they agreed to set up a proper data cooperation system. And they plan to release integrated public data within this year.
Within this year. That's a huge step, a massive commitment to regional data strategy.
Yeah. And if you link it back to KOICA, it shows that even an agency focused internationally sees strong domestic digital infrastructure, public data access as vital. It's foundational for their own relevance and, likely, their capacity to act globally. Their work abroad is built on skills honed at home.
That's a really interesting connection. Okay, so we've gone from mascots to AI data strategy. Now we need to shift gears pretty dramatically to something much more stark but absolutely critical: landmines.
Indeed. We're switching continents now, moving to the Democratic Republic of Congo, the DRC, and looking at some really essential humanitarian work KOICA is involved in there. The situation in the DRC is, well, it's tough. Development is just massively held back by leftover explosives from civil wars, rebel activities. It's been going on for decades.
It's like an invisible barrier to progress, right?
Exactly, a constant threat. And this is where KOICA partnered with the United Nations Mine Action Service, UNMAS, for a major project. And this isn't quick work, obviously. It takes sustained effort over multiple phases.
Right, it needs serious commitment.
Definitely. Extreme precision, long-term planning. The first phase, from 2018 to 2020, cleared about 190,000 square meters. But the second phase, they just had the closing report meeting for it this past August. That's where you really see the impact accelerating.
And the numbers from that Phase 2 report are pretty staggering when you think about what they mean. They cleared roughly another 400,000 square meters.
Yeah, a huge area.
And what they removed: around 450 explosive remnants, over 9,200 rounds of small arms ammo, and crucially, 36 anti-personnel mines.
30 subs. Each one designed specifically to kill or maim civilians, often children. Removing those, that allows villages to start living again. People can farm, kids can walk to school without that constant fear.
It's life-changing work.
Absolutely. And it wasn't just about clearing the land, they also focused heavily on prevention. The project gave explosive risk education to over 213,000 residents.
That education piece is so important, isn't it? Because the real impact isn't just measured in square meters cleared, but in people feeling safe enough to return to rebuild their lives.
Exactly. The source mentions villages being revitalized, farming starting up again, livelihoods resuming, people regaining hope. It's that core humanitarian mission that really grounds everything else the agency does.
It's a good reminder of the why behind all the strategy and tech.
Definitely. It sort of grounds us before we shift to the final aspect of KOICA's work we're looking at today. That high-level infrastructure diplomacy, where they export some of that technical capacity strategically.
Okay, so let's group together their recent activities in Mongolia and Bangladesh. Both seem to show cooperation tied closely to the partner country's own national plans.
Starting with Mongolia, KOICA's president, CHANG Sam, visited in August. The timing was significant. It marked the 35th anniversary of Korea-Mongolia diplomatic ties and the 30th anniversary of the KOICA Mongolia office.
So signaling a deep long-term relationship.
Precisely. And the support KOICA offers is really tailored to Mongolia's big national strategy, their Vision 2050.
Yeah.
That covers huge goals, and Korea's focusing its help on key areas like governance, urban development, transport, and agriculture. It's very targeted.
Any specific initiatives mentioned?
Yeah, a big focus is on the green economy. President Chang specifically backed Mongolia's billion tree planting campaign, which is a massive undertaking, and also their bid to host the 2026 UN Climate Change Conference on Desertification, the UNCCD COP17.
Hosting that COP would be a huge deal for Mongolia internationally.
Absolutely. And KOICA's putting resources behind the talk. They're planning a survey for climate change projects later this year. Plus, they signed off on a concrete new project, improving risk management and baggage control for Mongolia's customs agency.
Okay, that customs project sounds very modern-age, not just building things, but improving systems, right?
Exactly. It's set to run 2025 to 2028. It's about using technology and risk assessment to strengthen border management. That helps trade and security. It's smart development.
Okay, now let's jump over to Bangladesh, another tech-heavy project here. The opening in August of Bangladesh's first traffic management center, or TMC, in Dhaka.
Yeah, this is potentially huge for Dhaka. Anyone who knows Dhaka knows the traffic congestion is legendary, really. This TMC is a direct application of Korea's own Advanced Intelligent Transportation System, or ITS. They installed it along a busy stretch of the N8 highway.
So more than just new traffic lights, what does an ITS-powered TMC actually do for a city struggling with traffic like Dhaka?
Think of it as the central control room, the brain. It uses real-time monitoring, data analysis, even some predictive modeling to manage traffic flow. The goal is to ease congestion, prevent accidents, and allow for much faster emergency response. It shifts things from being purely reactive to being proactive, dynamic.
And it wasn't just a case of dropping off the tech, right?
Yeah.
The sources mentioned collaboration.
Right. Deep collaboration. It was built with the Korea Expressway Corporation's Research Institute and Susong Engineering. Crucially, they provided a lot of training and ran a year-long pilot to make sure the local teams could actually manage and sustain the system long-term.
The sustainability piece is key.
For sure. And this TMC, it's just the latest step. Koika's work in Bangladesh has covered digitizing traffic administration, helping with urban transport master plans, supporting railway construction, and now they're even extending into bridge safety management. They're essentially helping build a whole modern digital transport ecosystem.
Okay, so let's try and pull all these threads together. We started with the surprisingly effective soft power of a mascot, PeKO. Then we went into complex domestic data sharing aimed at boosting national AI capability. We touched on the absolute vital humanitarian work, removing anti-personnel mines in the DRC. And we finished with exporting sophisticated ITS to Dhaka and governance tech to Mongolia.
Yeah, it's quite the range. And the connecting thread, really, running through almost all of it, is the need for digital and data capacity. Whether it's the data feeding the ITS in Bangladesh, the integrated public data push back home, or even the systems needed for careful demining and tracking education efforts. It all relies on modern tech and data handling.
It demonstrates that being a major development player today requires this incredible mix of skills, technical, digital, diplomatic, communicative, all operating at a significant scale.
It really does prove that contemporary development is complex. They have to be agile.
Which brings us to our final thought for you, the listener. We've seen Koika involved in data sharing, green diplomacy, hard infrastructure, and critical humanitarian aid, all at the same time. Looking ahead, as developing nations increasingly focus on climate change and building digital economies, what new skill set, maybe beyond just data management, will global aid agencies need most in, say, the next 5 years? Is the top priority still dealing with the immediate aftermath of conflict, like those landmines? Or is it more about enabling purely digital governance and green transitions? Where should the focus lie?